In the last few hours, did recover the remains of 2 individuals.
A tragic turn.
They were packing their personal belongings, trying to get out.
The Black Forest fire turns deadly. 7 News on the fire lines.
They said to get out right then. The fire exploded. They're taking people out of the hotspot zones.
From the sky, a clear path of destruction.
We have friends out through that way, and we fear for them.
Homeowners now wondering.
It's very frustrating. You just want to know, is it there? Is it not there?
Tonight, on the ground and in the air, the battle to contain the Black Forest fire. And we have new video at 10 from the Black Forest fire. This video from inside the fire lines, shot by a Colorado Springs employee. Firefighters making progress today with 5% containment, yet announcing a tragic discovery: 2 bodies found in the rubble.
Right now, mandatory evacuations in place for 38,000 people. That's 13,000 homes, expanding into 3 counties. Thousands of others on pre-evacuation notice at this hour, and fire officials asking residents to be patient.
Now, this is a look at the burn area. 15,000 acres scorched, and in that area, 360 homes destroyed.
Our team coverage from Black Forest, including Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson at the command post, tracking the high winds. We start with 7 News reporter Mark Stewart on the northwest side of the deadly fire.
And Mike, as we come on the air tonight, the winds are starting to pick up. We can really smell that smoke. Sadly, the barricades here are necessary. Take a look behind me. Just past these lights is the entranceway to the fire lines. Late today, sadly, we have confirmed 2 people have died. 360 people have lost their homes. Hidden beneath the trees and the smoke, evidence of what the firestorm left behind. A swimming pool with no home. On some lots, nothing at all. And somewhere in the midst of this mess sits Patty Olney's dream home of 10 years.
Just cannot describe to anybody. You know, you look at stuff and it's like your whole life is flashing forward. And you're never going to have that again.
Patty is now setting up shop at this small motel, keeping her loss in perspective, because 2 people here didn't make it.
They were packing their personal belongings, trying to get out.
Killed as they tried to escape.
The person that they were speaking with said he could hear popping and cracking in the background, and they advised they are leaving right now.
As this jumbo jet drops retardant,
I knew when I left I would never see that again.
Patty is preaching preparation. She knows what happened to her can easily happen to anyone.
People are not losing their houses, they're losing their lives and dreams and what they've worked for forever.
And late tonight, I talked to an official from the American Red Cross. She says there is so much concern about the emotional health of this community. They are making a statewide appeal for mental health workers who are going to have to deal with certainly some very heavy emotional burdens. Live in El Paso County tonight, Mark Stewart, 7 News.
And our chief meteorologist Mike Nelson live at the command post all afternoon. Winds fueling the fires right now, though, Mike, the conditions are improving.
Oh, it's a delightful evening out here right now. You would hardly know there's anything to really worry about. Look at how gentle the winds are in Colorado Springs. They have gone light and variable since 9 o'clock. And for a time, we had a little bit of a northeast wind coming in. We're southwest of the fire at Pikes Peak Community College, but not enough to even smell the smoke. However, I can still see a little bit in the distance a faint orange glow from time to time of a couple of flare-ups from the fire a few miles off to the north and to the east of me. We had such a windy afternoon with gusts 35, 40 miles per hour, and they were erratic, coming in sometimes from the southeast, from the southwest, one due from the west, and that made it difficult for firefighters as we had the high base thunderstorms around that don't produce much rain. We had about 5 sprinkles right here at the command center, but they do produce a gust of wind that can fan out in all directions and really cause havoc with the fires. That's what happened last year with Waldo Canyon. One of those gusty thunderstorms to the northwest of the fire came rocketing in, changing the direction dramatically. That was our biggest fear today. Fortunately, it didn't happen, and fire crews, despite the fact we had a hot, dry day with some lightning in the area and those erratic winds, were able to gain containment 5%, but that was notable on a day that they were very, very concerned. With the winds lying down tonight, we're going to get a bit of a break tonight and early tomorrow morning. The humidities are coming up just a little bit. We're 72 degrees here. Humidities are getting up into the upper 20s to near 30%. Tomorrow does not look like as bad a day weather-wise. We'll get some gusty winds from the south to southeast. Matt will have more on that in just a little bit, but it looks like there may be a few showers and storms in the 72-hour forecast Friday through Sunday. If we would be fortunate, maybe they'd bring some beneficial rainfall. The biggest concern is that we will still have the potential for lightning and these erratic winds again in and around the storms. That's a concern because it spreads the fire in different directions. It also makes it very difficult for the incident commanders to exactly know how to bring those large aircraft in, because the winds shifting like that can really cause some problems as they fly in low and slow to make their drops. But at least for right now, Mother Nature is doing us a bit of a favor for tonight.
We'll take it. Thank you, Mike. New video, a before and after look at a home destroyed in the Black Forest fire. The Forbes family taking this picture as their home went up in flames. Then, moments later, it looked like this. Lisa Forbes says she is thankful her family got out safely. She says, as devastating as it is, she was prepared because of what her friends had gone through with last year's Waldo Canyon fire.
So we knew, looking at it, even though it was terrifying, and it's our home, we knew that there was a journey ahead of us from what we saw 1 year ago.
Smoke rising from empty neighborhoods, roadblocks making it difficult for anyone to get in and out. This video taken from the east side of the Black Forest fire. Mailboxes marked with yellow ribbon showing the homes that residents were forced to evacuate today. Our team coverage continues with 7 News reporter Marshall Zellinger with a behind-the-scenes look at saving homes. Marshall?
Mike, what you're about to see is what fire crews dealt with in the first few hours after the Black Forest fire on Tuesday. The same fire crews that are now spending the night outside 1 mile south of here, where that green flashing light is. Fire crews come to Pine Creek High School after a day of fighting the flames and protecting homes.
Firefighter is now standing, waiting for the fire to arrive to him.
You're seeing a rare look at firefighters protecting homes from burning.
And we're just protecting the deck here and making sure that this fire doesn't get into the mulch.
Colorado Springs Fire providing this glimpse behind the Black Forest fire lines around 3:30 p.m. Tuesday, just 2.5 hours after the Black Forest fire first reported.
He's saving all his resources here. What we're trying to do is allow the fire to burn out all the fuel around the house and let it blow right on by.
As this was going on the ground, one of the first evacuees providing 7 News this video of one of the first air attacks. This is what it looked like as ground crews went from home to home.
What the video can't convey to you is that there's a lot of heat being blown in towards that firefighter.
As they wait for the flames, the strike team piles patio furniture into one area that they will also protect.
The fire has now passed through, and it's done exactly what we wanted it to do, and that is burn around the house and leave the house intact.
This crew only using water to soak the mulch once the threat has passed.
And they will check that with the back of their hand, make sure that it is cold and dead out.
Colorado Springs Fire Department telling me that house protection took 2.5 hours. Now for road closures right behind me, this is the southernmost part of the Highway 83 closure at Powers Boulevard. It extends 8 miles to the north all the way to Highway 105 in Monument. Reporting live, Marshall Zellinger, 7 News.
So a criminal investigation is now underway since 2 people died in this fire. And although there is still no cause yet, we do know the fire started right here north of Shoup. And we talked to one woman. She was watching her kids playing soccer, watching the sky. She started taking pictures when she saw the first puff of smoke, and she describes how they decided to make their getaway.
We're all going, this is not good because it's windy, but you don't feel it when you're down in the trees as much. We kind of went on, and then all of a sudden we sounded the horn, and we all gathered at the lodge there at Cathedral Pines. There was one gentleman that knew the back way out of there, so we all had to follow each other the back way out, and he and I piled our 12 boys in my truck and his little car and got out.
And many people having to leave their homes, spray painting their phone numbers on the sides of their animals, and in many cases just setting them free, hoping they'll survive the fire and then eventually be reunited through those painted numbers.
7 News inside the fire zone today. Take a look at this. The fast-acting firefighters keeping the flames from getting to this house. Our crews riding along with 2 men saving animals from the burn area. They managed to get animals out of homes that were already evacuated. The flames starting small, then jumping to trees and to homes. Entire neighborhoods and subdivisions are just gone in Black Forest. 7 News reporter Russell Haythorne takes us inside the evacuation zone.
Inside the evacuation zone.
Right now it's scary. You know, yesterday it was scary.
An up-close look at the destruction and the homes destroyed.
The trees are starting to burn right over here.
Sean Haddock and his dad, Rob, came back in after evacuating their horses yesterday.
Hay is a real problem trying to find right now. I came back and got enough. It's probably enough hay for about 2 to 3 days.
His dad threw some water on the all-wood front porch.
As long as the power holds out, it'll keep that wet.
They even chopped down an old favorite right outside the front door just to err on the side of caution. This is an area on the northeastern edge of the Black Forest fire, and you can see that there are just so many hot spots, making it difficult for fire crews to fight this thing.
Having the drought that we've had, it was sad to say it was imminent. It wasn't if, it was when.
And yet, as powerful and devastating as this fire has proven to be, the ground attack is just as aggressive, as well as the aerial assault. In the Black Forest, Russell Haythorne, 7 News.
And Governor John Hickenlooper touring the fire area today, praising the work of firefighters, but saying this fire shows the need to get firefighters to wildfires faster.
The fire clearly moves so rapidly, and we learned this last year in High Park and in Waldo Canyon, that when it goes through a forest that fast, it doesn't burn everything. So part of the risk here is to make sure that the fire doesn't turn back. And they've got crews throughout the burn area that are defending homes.
The governor concerned the wind is determining the fate of so many homes. Still, he says he'd put Colorado firefighters up against any in the world when it comes to protecting lives and property. Stay with 7 News and the 7 News app for the latest on our wildfires. We'll have continuing coverage coming up in this newscast. And you can get new evacuation maps and updates anytime on the 7 News app.